Here's how I fit all of this into this one carry-on that I always travel. So in the last video, I shared exactly what I packed because I think that is one of the most important parts to learning how to pack light, knowing exactly what to put inside. But a lot of you started commenting that you wanted to see the actual packing, like everything and how it goes inside. So that's exactly what we're gonna do today. Spoiler alert, it's not that you don't know how to pack, it's that even if you're an overpacker like me, chances are you don't have the right luggage. Now trust me, this one that I have right here isn't perfect, but out of everything that I've tried, it is the one that has worked the most because of one single thing. It opens up like this instead of the typical like a book. First step, because my flight is actually today in a couple of hours, picking out what I'm going to wear to the airport, which is what I currently have on. Everything else, I'm going to go ahead and throw it onto the bed. Shirts, pants and sweaters, toiletries, bags, makeup, and bags, purses, and packing cubes. Lastly, technology, notebooks, and all those things always goes in my bag. This one that I have right here. So this always counts as my personal item, and then my rolly one that I always take with me. Now here's where the fun part begins, because you kind of see everything that you have laid out. I try to then sort it out by category. So I put like all my hats together, my belts. I make sure that all my purses are completely emptied out so that I can fold them as small as possible. This is a long stay tote bag that I actually designed because when I'm traveling, I always like to have a top zipper, which a lot of tote bags don't have. And tote bags are just so versatile. Like this works for absolutely any country that I've been in, because you guys know that I go to a different city every month. So I just need like that versatile bag that's gonna match with everything. Can work as a beach bag, a work bag, all those things. So I fold it up like as small as possible or as thin as possible. And then I just start making a different pie. I am rushing because honestly, this has to be done in less than 15 minutes. So we're also timing ourselves to see it's possible. These are all the dresses, jackets. Oh, it's about to storm. And then I also pick out like just the thickest sweater that I have so I can wear on the plane. Just because obviously it takes up a lot of space, and if I can wear it, even better, because planes are always free. And now I'm just gonna start stuffing it all into these compression packing cubes. Now, normal packing cube, yes, they work, but they're not going to save you space when it comes to packing. If you really want to save space, you want to find something that's going to suck the air out of it. I don't recommend the vacuum bags unless you're traveling with a winter clothes, because what happens when you vacuum those bags up is that they become so hard, literally like blocks that you can't move around. So normally these are squishy things that you can seal to the side, like squeeze little things in, like squeeze a cap, squeeze just like a little extra shirt that you have. But when it's so hard like those blocks, you literally can't add anything to the side. So I'm going to start off with the thickest things, pants. If you're wondering exactly what's going into this bag and you want like detail, like how many pants, how many shirts, all of that is in the video that I'm going to leave right here. That was a spring edition, but I'm also going to make a European summer one because I know Italy's on our mind. I'm also going to add that one so you know exactly what you have to pack for an Italian summer, that you have like summer outfits, cute outfits, but that you're still packing light and not traveling with a huge bag, because as you guys know, in Europe with those streets, big bags are just a night. My favorite thing about these trouser pants are that you can literally dress them up, dress them down, and they're so thin that it fits great, and it's just like a great addition to the wardrobe. And look, there's honestly always going to be those things that you didn't wear or that you maybe wore once or twice. For me, it's these skirts. Usually here where I am right now in Medellin, Colombia, it's usually like the perfect springtime weather, and for some reason right now has just been like pouring. So I haven't been able to wear my skirts, which means that I kind of pack them for nothing, which is always going to happen. But my rule is if you don't wear it at home, don't pack it. You're not going to wear it when you're out traveling. We always make those exceptions like, no, for sure I'm going to wear it like for this occasion. And we pack it and we know we're not going to wear it. And yes, the rolly hack does work. It's the way that I can just like squeeze everything up, make it as small as possible, and then fit as many things into one compression bag. Now, one thing, if you fill it up a lot like this one is, no matter how much you press it, like this one might have like a 70% chance of closing. But the thing is that it's also going to be a very odd shape when it's completely packed down like this one. And this one I was able to completely close. So sometimes, honestly, I leave them like this and I make sure just that I press it as hard as possible, because it is that material that can just move around. When it's like this, similar to the vacuum bags, but not as much, you really can't move anything else around. So since this one is so big compared to this one, on the Amazon link that I have for these, like you'll see that you buy them and you get them in different sizes. Sometimes I just leave this big one like this, and then the little ones I will compress up. For shoes, I'm going to travel with these, not only because they're the biggest ones that take up the most space, but obviously it's the way that I'm going to be most comfortable in the airport, not in sandals. So all of these are going inside a little shoe bag and straight to the carry-on. I think the best packers understand that you'll fit the most in when you think of it as a Lego. So for example, shoes, I'll always put like one inside the other to make it as slim as possible so they take up the least amount of space possible. So just like squeeze them together and put them in a bag. As you'll notice, I have different bags for everything. My ultimate theory is that everything belongs inside of its own little pouch. If you can squeeze it in, then it's a lot easier to organize your things inside of a bag instead of 1,000 little things that are just scattered around loosely in the bag. And here's where the fun part begins. Don't do the bed. Obviously, you roll these bags around literally thousands and thousands of airports. So I try to just put it as close as possible. And then this is where the fun begins, to start stuffing the bag and moving things around in order for it to just like fit as best as possible. This bag that I am using is a bag that can be expanded, and it's really cool. The reason why I picked it is because there's really not that many carry-on luggages that are European size. European size is a lot thinner than what we're used to, like if you're traveling in the US or anywhere else. It does have to be thinner, but for everywhere else, I'll take it expanded. Now, my hack when I'm packing, even when I'm going to Europe and I need it to be in the compressed mode, is to pack with it open and then squeeze it together. This right here is how the process is currently going. I'm only missing the shoes over here. These little things are going in the backpack. This sweater is what I'm going to be wearing also in my backpack. And then these purses that I like to lay out here at the top that I'll just place here and then close it shut. Remember that technology over here is also going in the backpack. You're not going to believe what happened. I realized I had a whole section of dirty clothes that I still needed to put in. So I put it all inside of this and I'm rearranging, and I'm going to try to get this bag inside of here. If not, then I can obviously put this in my little backpack. But I like to travel as light as possible on my shoulders, so I try to put as many things in my carry-on. Let's see how it goes. Little things like this when traveling, you just kind of got to get used to them because they will always come up. So I feel like I've encountered my fair share of little oopsies along the way, but it always ends up working. Looking good. So here's the correct setup that we have, and I'm in between putting the shoes in here or the toiletries. Sometimes I like taking the toiletries in my backpack if I know it's going to be one of those airports where I'm gonna have to take it out, but I know this one usually isn't like that because right now it's all in there and we do have this extra space here. So I have the dirty clothes. The one at first, this one has bikinis, underwear, things like that. And this was just my laser hair removal thing that I always travel with. I know it's bulky, but I always take it with me. Now me, the way that I am, I'm like, but can I fit both? Which is what I'm trying to figure out. Like, because there are like little gaps in here, which is what I'm talking about, that you can always squeeze things into. We got it. Honestly, so far so good. I could literally fit something else in here. I'm trying to see what else I have lying around. Ooh, almost forgot. Depending on what time you are going to land, I'm going to land literally at midnight. So I'm going to leave my PJs at the top of the bag so that can be the first thing that I pull out. That is always something I do. So you're not like opening up the whole bag, digging for what you're trying to find. Sandals here, the big, thicker sandals are out here. I stuffed the PJs inside and we have a bag that is ready to go. Fully packed. Look at that. Ta-da! It's going to fully close and you have one carry-on pack. The little things that I'm taking here on the side for my little backpack, as light as possible, and we're ready to go. So there you have it, my friend. One carry-on, lots and lots of things. If you watched the last video, you'll see that there was over like 200 outfits that I'm traveling with for a full month, and we have it fully packed in one carry-on. Now, a lot of people will ask, what about the weight? I don't know how much it would weigh, but this is definitely not a light carry-on. Have I ever had to check it? Out of my 3 years traveling full-time with just a carry-on, I've only had to check it 2 times. And honestly, only one time was because of weight. The other time was because in a European thing, they thought it wouldn't fit. When it did fit, I really didn't try because I was running late. So I was just like, charge me the extra fee and let's go on with it. I didn't want to lose my flight. How long have I been able to travel with just this one bag in my backpack? For up to 3, almost 4 months. If I am going to places that are going to change climate, what I do is when one thing comes in, something comes out. So for example, I was in Europe and then I went to Dubai, Marrakesh, and it started getting a lot colder. So I had to buy jeans, I had to buy jackets, things like that. And I would donate wherever I was my summer things. So bikinis, dresses, things like that, where I know I'm not going to keep wearing. And honestly, as somebody that used to be such an overpacker, like I remember my first trips to Europe, I would take 3 bags just for myself, just for like 3 weeks. Less is more. You enjoy travel so much more when you have less things, when you're actually wearing everything that you are taking with you. And when you're not literally like having those moments at the airport where it's like, why did I bring all this? And yes, the ladies that love to shop, I love to shop too. And what it has made me realize is that we cling to things that we shouldn't really cling to. That rotational closet that I was just saying about, like how I'm changing with the seasons, it has made me just appreciate the little things that I'm buying for each destination a lot more, because I know that it's like representative to that season, that travel that I'm experiencing it. And then I can leave it for people that actually need it in that climate. What am I going to do taking a dress for 2 months to a place where I'm not going to be wearing it? This bag and all the others that I recommend that open up like this, which honestly I've tried it, and like this, a lot more things fit in than like the typical like a book style, are going to be here in my Amazon travel with all the other things that I recommend, my must-haves. And come along, because the next destination is a place that I know so many people love or want to go to. It's a place that's super walkable, perfect for any foodie. Starts with an M. So go ahead and take a guess down in the comments, and I'll see you next time.